You ever notice how the smartest folks in the room, the ones with the sharp eyes and tired souls, always look the most lost? It's not because they don't know things. Hell, they know too much. They don't just see the picture, they see the brush strokes, the paint, the damn canvas underneath. They see what most folks are too busy or too scared to notice. And that kind of clarity, it comes at a cost. I've walked enough alleys and stared at enough evidence boards to know this. The deeper you think, the darker it gets. Not because the world changes, but because you finally start seeing it for what it really is. Smart people, they don't run from questions. They chase them. But the more you chase, the more you realize how many doors lead nowhere. Or worse, somewhere you wish you'd never gone. Most folks are content with answers that fit in fortune cookies. Smart ones? They dig deeper. They can't help it. It's in their wiring. But digging that deep means you find bones, secrets, ghosts. You start seeing how the system's rigged, how justice has a price tag, how people smile while they lie through their teeth. And the real kick in the teeth? You see how easily you could become part of it if you stop caring just a little. The smartest people I've known, they weren't the ones with fancy degrees or polished shoes. They were the ones awake at 3 a.m., pacing the floor, haunted by thoughts they couldn't turn off. People who saw 20 futures and didn't know which one to choose because they understood that choosing one meant killing the rest. You ask me why they feel lost? That's why. Too many roads. Too many truths. Too many voices whispering in the dark. And when you see that much, trust becomes a luxury. You start second-guessing not just the world, but yourself. Did I make the right call? Could I have saved them? Why didn't I see it coming? You don't forget those questions. They stick, like blood under your nails. Truth is, intelligence doesn't come with peace. It comes with weight, with responsibility, and sometimes with guilt. You carry the stories no one else sees. You feel the things no one else dares to. And after a while, you wonder if maybe ignorance really is bliss. But even then, you can't go back. You're already awake. The lights are on. And once you see the cracks, you can't unsee them. Sometimes, I sit in silence and envy the people who believe everything they're told. Who take comfort in simple answers. Who've never questioned the ground under their feet. But smart people, they know better. And that knowing, it can feel like a curse. You feel like you're drifting. Like you're out of step with the rest of the world. Like everyone else is playing by rules you've long stopped believing in. But maybe that's the point. Maybe feeling lost isn't the problem. Maybe it's the proof you're still looking. Still alive. Still human. I've met the broken geniuses, the wounded thinkers. I've seen them in interrogation rooms, in bar stools, in mirrors. And I'll tell you this, they're the ones I trust. Because they see. Because they feel. Because they haven't surrendered to the noise. And yeah, they might walk alone. But that path they're on, it's honest. It's raw. It's real. Me? I don't pretend to have it figured out. I'm not here to hand out answers. I've seen too much. Lost too much. There's a file in my drawer with a name I still can't cross off. And every case I take is another shot at redemption that never comes. But if you're out there, wondering, trying to make sense of a world that feels upside down, you're not broken. You're one of us. The thinkers. The seekers. The ones who feel too much in a world that feels nothing at all. So keep asking. Keep walking. Keep burning the maps if you have to. 'Cause maybe the only way to find truth is to get lost first. And remember, truth doesn't show up on your schedule. But it does show up. Eventually. I used to think being smart meant having answers. Back when I wore a badge, when I thought I could save the city one file at a time. But the longer you're out here, the more you learn, answers are slippery. Questions stick around longer. They're louder. Sometimes I stare at my caseboard, strings tangled between pens, faces I'll never forget. I don't see solutions. I see stories. half-finished ones, unwritten endings. Maybe that's all intelligence really is, the ability to see the weight of what's missing. You feel it in your bones, in the spaces between your words, in the silences you share with strangers who carry the same kind of scars. And you start to realize being lost isn't a moment. It's a condition, a way of being when the world doesn't fit the shape of your thoughts. When you know enough to spot the lies, but not enough to rebuild the truth. Smart people get stuck in that space. They don't numb it out. They live in it. That tension between what is and what could be. It's like trying to breathe between two worlds, and neither of them feels like home. You ever talk to someone who stopped pretending? Someone who's done chasing the spotlight, the praise, the applause? They've got a different kind of quiet. Not empty, just resolved. Like they know something they don't feel like saying out loud. They've made peace with being misunderstood. And maybe that's what being smart teaches you, that peace doesn't come from understanding everything. It comes from knowing what's worth understanding and what isn't. I've walked out of rooms I could have owned. Turned down cases that paid well but smelled wrong. I don't regret it. Not really. Regret's a trap. But I carry those choices like weights in my coat. They keep me grounded when the wind picks up. So if you feel like you're drifting, don't fight it too hard. Some roads don't have signs. Some stories don't have clear endings. And some people, like you, like me, we don't get the easy answers. We get the long nights, the hard questions, and the slow kind of hope that builds in silence. But it's still hope. And sometimes that's enough. Eventually, the dark clears. Not all at once, but enough to see the next step. And that's all you need. Just one honest step. Truth's still out there. And so are we.